Hi, how are you? I hope you're having a good day. Um, Today I just decided to make a video about Rio de Janeiro because Olympic Games are going to be held in here, and there are so many people who are going to come from overseas, so I decided maybe me, the person who lived in here for 2 years, it would be great for me to give you tips and advices how you should be in here because Rio de Janeiro can be very different from what you normally get used to. Let me start from beginning. For example, you in the airport, you just landed. What you need to do, the first thing you need to do, you have an option to go on a bus or you can go on a taxi. So you have to be very careful because sometimes taxi drivers, they see that you're from overseas and they try to bullshit you. So basically they tell you that taxi gonna be like 5 times more expensive than it actually is. Let me just give you the price. The average price to go from airport to to Copacabana, you're gonna be about like 60-70 reais. Reais is the currency of Brazil. Every single time before you get in a taxi, always ask them how much. Just ask them how much this gonna be. I'm going there, how much this gonna be, and try to learn how to say it in Portuguese because there are so many people who don't speak English. I know it sounds weird because you would think that Rio de Janeiro is like tourist attraction. There are so many tourists in here. There are so many tourists in here, but it doesn't matter. There are still so many people who don't speak English, like not even a single word, and they like work in restaurants. They like serve tourists every single day, and they still don't speak any English. And this is a little bit sad, but there is this like diversity. Younger people tend to speak English very good, and almost every single younger person gonna speak English. But older generation, after like 40 years old, they don't speak English. So every time you go to the restaurant or you take a taxi or you go somewhere where you're supposed to have some service, you probably gonna meet someone who is over 40 years old, and unfortunately they're not gonna speak any English, even if it's in a restaurant or even if it's in a bar somewhere on a beach. It doesn't matter, you're still gonna face lack of English everywhere you go. So I would strongly recommend you to learn at least like few phrases before you come here, just to get by the simplest phrases. I'm going there, I need this, I want that. Just Google it out. So many people say that Rio de Janeiro is kind of dangerous place, and yes, it is dangerous place, I agree. But the thing with me, I live in a South Zone. South Zone is kind of posh, a South Zone is kind of safe, and South Zone, it's like this bubble which protected by a lot of policemen. There is a lot of military in here. You're gonna meet a policeman almost every 4 minutes walking in here. It's basically like Manhattan in New York. After you leave Manhattan, it gets dangerous. Even in New York, in any big city, in LA, it's dangerous. There is shooting all the time. In any city in the world, you wouldn't go to this very poor districts, you wouldn't go to this very poor zones. And I just think that if you don't go to crazy favela, where all the drug dealers are, and you're just gonna stick to Zona Sul, to Copacabana, to Ipanema, to Baja, nothing will happen to you. It's a very safe place. I lived in here for 2 years and I never experienced anything. Like, there are some people lying on the street, there are some, kids begging for money all the time everywhere. But in Zona Sul, in South Zone, it's very much safe. I feel more safe in here than I felt in London when I lived in there sometime before. On the weekend, please don't go to city center because it can be very dangerous in there. Why? Because there is no police. Because on the weekend, police is not working in there, and this is the reason why it's getting dangerous, because it's uncontrolled. Try to get money before you come here, so don't try to exchange money in here. Try to get it before you come here. I know it's very difficult to get money from overseas, get it exchanged in there, but please try to do it. If you can, would be great. If you can't, then it's fine. You can always use your credit card in here. You can use your credit card everywhere, and debit card as well. Credit, debit, doesn't matter, because your debit card gonna work as credit in here. It's so weird, but every time, for example, if you have debit card in here and you need to use it, the person always gonna ask you credit or debit, credit to or debit to, and you have to say credit even if you have debit card. So it's very weird, but it, like, every single time they're gonna ask you this question, and every single time you have to answer. So every single time you have to say "acredito." So yeah, you know, Rio de Janeiro is an amazing place. You can find absolutely amazing, beautiful people in here. People are very, very friendly. People are very, very welcoming. People sometimes don't speak English, but they still try to communicate with you. They're not gonna just, you know, turn around and stop talking to you. You know, they'll try their best. And, you know, very warm country, very warm, you know, in literal way and in the way people are. You know, very warm country, very welcoming country. I mean, I'm really glad that I lived in here. I'm really glad that I had, you know, opportunity to come here. I just think there is so much controversy going on about Rio de Janeiro. You know, they say that there are so many mosquitoes in here, you can get Zika and all this kind of stuff. Yes, there are some mosquitoes. They used to be in here about maybe 4 months ago. Now it's winter and it's like 15 degrees outside. It's like 20 degrees. I'm constantly cold. Like I have to wear like the sweatpants because I'm so cold. There are not that many mosquitoes now, like almost no mosquitoes now because it's winter. During the winter you don't get a lot of mosquitoes because it's too cold for them to survive, so they don't breed now. So another thing I wanted to talk about is, you know, your the way you look. You're gonna attract a lot of people because Brazilians really like foreigners. They like to look at them all the time. You know, you're gonna get a lot of attention. If you want to meet a friend, if you want to meet someone, you know, for a relationship, whatever, it's an amazing place because I think with all the views, Rio de Janeiro, the best thing about Rio de Janeiro is people. People are very, very friendly and very nice and very warm. And you know, if you come here just to have good times, you know, whatever the reason you want to come here, just you know, I think it's a great place to be. Yeah, it's a great place to come for 1 week or maybe 2. You know, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. When you come here, please, you know, don't try to stick out your iPhone 6, you know, your Samsung Galaxy S7 with this, you know, selfie stick everywhere and, you know, show it all everywhere around. Please don't do it. Why do I say that? Because as safe as it is, mugging can happen anywhere. And you know, as long as you dress very simple, you know, a t-shirt, you know, trousers, you know, whatever, shorts, it's just, you know, when you have something very expensive, like, you know, you don't come with Louis Vuitton bag in here, you don't come with like, you know, Hermes bag, I don't know, anything super expensive, you know, don't show it. Don't show your iPhone 6, don't show your Rolex, you know, don't show off in here because it's still a third world country. There are still so many poor people and it's just it's not good thing to show off in here. You know, you should be dressed very simple. You should have your phone in your pocket. Don't try to show it, you know, in front of everyone. Don't try to, like, you know, put it on a selfie stick and just walk around everywhere with it. I mean, you can do it in some places where there are so many people, like tourists, but don't do it just on the street because it can get dangerous. I mean, you can get just mugged, you know, you can get mugged. And, you know, you shouldn't do that, you know, just try to keep it simple. The more simple you keep it, the better it is. Okay, so what else should I say about Brazil? I definitely think that you should come here. I definitely think that it's amazing experience to come here for 1 week. It's amazing experience to see something absolutely different from what you normally see, you know, because landscapes in here are just crazy, you know, like it's breathtaking and people are so different, so warm, so nice. You don't get this kind of people, you know, anywhere else in the world. You know, people are very, very particular in here. Like, I found Brazilians are the most like pleasant people to be friends with, to talk to, just to hang out with. They're very, very nice people, and you know, it's amazing experience. It's, you know, not many people go to Brazil. Brazil is kind of exotic place, and you know, I think it's amazing opportunity to come here at least for 1 week, at least to come for 2 weeks. It's just beautiful place, you know. It's a beautiful place for vacation. It's a beautiful place just to come and see Olympic Games, whatever the reason, you know. Come here for 1-2 weeks and see for yourself. This is all I want to say. This is all I want to say. Look at me. I'm like, you know, I lived in here for 2 years. I've been to so many places in here. I've been to so many bars in here. I used to stay, you know, until late night. I've been to many places in here. I know kind of a lot of stuff in here, and nothing happens to me. I never experienced anything crazy, you know, and I think that, you know, you won't as well. It's just you have to be sensible. Don't go to crazy places. Don't go on your own. Don't go on your own to crazy places, you know. Don't go to favela. Try to find some friends, you know. Try to, you know, there are so many like different applications you can use to meet like different people in here. For example, you know, just use Tinder, you know, use, you know, the Meet app application. It's like when you like meet with those people who have you know, same interest, just you know, try to find a friend on internet, whatever. Try to find someone who could, you know, who could show you Rio, who could, you know, take you places, you know, all this kind of stuff, you know. It would be great if you could do it. So yeah, this is what I wanted to say about Brazil. I love it. I think you should come here. This is it.